I have been very happy with BMC Bioinformatics as a journal to project my research where I can publish easily and quickly because of the efficiency with which the reviewing process has been handled. We don't wait endlessly for weeks on end without any response from the journal. We actually get good reviews. I think the reviewing panel is very good. Of course, I'm on it, maybe that's why it's very good. But apart from that, the reviewing is to the point and critical. And we found that very quickly we are able to get the revised manuscripts uploaded and re-reviewed so that we know what the outcome is of our publication. I think we've been very comfortable with what's been happening, and we have enjoyed the process rather than it being a long, drawn-out, torturous effort from our side. We are sort of like jack of all trades because we do many different things within bioinformatics. My team has been working on alternative splicing. We have been looking at the origin of introns and exons, the intron early theory or the intron late theory in general, which actually talks about the origin of complexity with evolution of organisms. We've been working on caspases to try to understand how this family of proteins triggers apoptosis. We work on small disulfide bonded proteins, which are mainly serine protease or other protease inhibitors, but they seem to fall between the cracks in that they are very small proteins, about 20 to 80 amino acids long, and they come under a special category of multiple disulfide bonded proteins. So we've been studying those. We also work on genome annotation for a couple of fungal genomes. We're working also on secretion pathway studies in fungal organisms with a systems biology approach, and we do the computational aspects for them. On the other hand, we are also looking at parasitic nematodes to understand what pathways have been lost with the creation of parasitism so that we can look for targets, gene-based targets as novel therapeutic leads for effective control of these parasitic organisms. So in the end, we are looking at EST analysis, we are looking at protein analysis, genome analysis, comparative genomics, computational systems biology. We develop methods, we make niche databases as and when required for the specialist areas that we need the data for. We have web services that we offer to the community, which also help us to process our own data. We make visualization tools for heterogeneous data integration and visualization. We also work on the detailed analysis, and we hope to be able to support research in the way of providing a new way to discover computationally biomarkers, genes that can be used for cancer therapy using RNAi, or even working towards finding solutions to multiple gene problems. So bioinformatics has been around about 2 decades now, and some of us actually started working in this area before it got this fancy name, of course. So we have been looking at the evolution of the field. But I think the stage has come when we should actually be looking at the frontiers of bioinformatics. And I believe that this will be when we can actually interface with chemoinformatics, which again has been around independently in chemistry for a long time, but rarely do these two fields mix or meet together. It would be wonderful because then the things that were developed for small molecules can be taken to the drug target discovery stage in a seamless manner. On the other hand, we also have medical informatics where there is a lot known about patient data, and with the knowledge of the genetic inheritance of diseases and the nature of allelic dependence of various infectious diseases, we should be able to combine these into a platform whereby bioinformatics coordinates the transfer of the genetic discoveries through computation to drug discovery, which can be fed back to medicine for clinical trials. We also have a number of methods developed in bioinformatics, which could be applied very, very well at the species level for conservation of biodiversity analysis. And that would be another frontier area, which is now called biodiversity informatics. In my opinion, all this actually constitutes biological informatics or life science informatics in its most general term, where bio stands for all that is living, and therefore informatics does not apply only to sequences or proteins or structures as we currently see it. From the molecular level, it would be transcending to a much larger level. I think that would lead to the maximum benefits, and therefore the outcomes would support research in all these frontier areas. Open access is a relatively new concept in that the author actually pays for the publication, which is lost because people don't buy paper copies anymore. In a way, it passes on the responsibility of finding the funding to the author, but I must say this is well compensated by the exposure we are able to afford our graduate students and our young postdocs. With online publication, we've had at least 500 hits within the first week that we published any paper so far, and that exposure has been tremendous. In fact, our heads of departments are delighted that we are able to show this kind of interest in our research work, and this has gone a long way to support the open access model. In one way, we do have to find the money, but it also justifies the research we are doing. If we are good researchers, we usually have the money to pay for our publications, and therefore we can afford to publish in the best journals. And I think BMC is doing very well. It's just been around for a couple of years now, but with such a good impact factor and the facility of open access and the ability to get a PDF as well as an HTML file has made all the difference to research. And even my students are very enthusiastic, and they come and say, why can't we put the paper in BMC, for instance? So I think that's made a lot of difference. I agree these challenges are there, but this is the way things are going to run in the future, and BMC has been taking the lead in this, and therefore I applaud their efforts to keep open access going.